Hi, my name is Kate, and welcome to Fine Motor Friday, Halloween edition. Okay, so instead of doing our typical Fine Motor Friday where we work with things that you have around the house, like clothes pegs and pipe cleaners, this week we are going to talk about games that you might have around the house. So a little bit more of a play-based activity in case your kids feel like, hey, I've been working on lines at school already. I don't need to do scissors right now. That's okay. We can play other games that hopefully these are games that you have at home. If they aren't, I'm sorry, I tried to get a variety. But we're just going to talk about the benefits and what skills they work on and how those would be applicable to fine motor skills that somebody would be using at school. So game number one, Don't Break the Ice, is a fan favorite of mine, and it's age appropriate for our kiddos because it's between 3 and 6. I have mine right here. So I'm just gonna put it together and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Okay, so game one, Don't Break the Ice, I have right here. I played this when I was a kid, so I am a big fan. So you get a hammer, you have little ice cubes that you knock down. So some of the skills that we work on when playing a game like this, tool use, right? Grading pressure. If you don't hit it hard enough, nothing's gonna happen. If you hit the right amount, it'll come out. So also we can say learning to steady something as you're using a tool. So when are these moments that we would use this at school, these skills? Okay, so if I'm learning to steady something while using a tool, something else that we steady, holding paper steady while we're coloring, while we're writing. When I'm hitting the little ice cubes, grading the correct amount of pressure. When do we learn how to or use grading the right amount of pressure? When we're coloring, so that we're not coloring too hard or coloring too light. When we're using a glue stick, again, if you press really hard, it will squish, which is fun, but not necessarily what we want when functionally using a glue stick. So there's lots of different ways that, fun fine motor skills are built into games that we might have at the house, or grandma or grandpa might have at their house that we could borrow when socially distanced. But I'm just going to go through a variety of games that I borrowed or bought for this video, and we'll go on to the next one. All right, game number two. All right, there's a Yeti in my spaghetti. Now, I think most of the games that I'm going to show you today, if I didn't borrow them from Miss Claudia's classroom or Miss Sanjita's classroom, I got this one at Target. You do not need to buy any games. You can definitely do all the fine motor activities that we did the other weeks. I just know that people often have random board games like Connect 4, or maybe you have a Yeti in your spaghetti. I don't know. But I wanted to give you some ways to work on things that were game-based. So all the games, turn taking is a great skill, but there's some fun fine motor skills there as well. So Yeti in my spaghetti looks like this. And what the kids do is they pull out a noodle. We take turns. We can take turns with mom and dad, and we just keep going until he falls in, which he's at risk for doing now. So what are the benefits? What are the fine motor skills that we are working on while playing this game? Okay, so we can use our pincer grasp to pull things out. Again, grading force, making sure that we aren't knocking the bowl over and knocking Mr. Yeti into the spaghetti. And it's easy to set up, which is what I will say. I appreciate that it's easier to set up than maybe Don't Break the Ice takes a little bit of time, or the honeybee tree game, which is kind of like Kerplunk, but age appropriate for our preschool kids. I think that one's 4 and up. Yeti in the spaghetti is ages 4 and up. So still in that preschool age range. And this one's really cute too. But what I would say is benefits for this one. So grading force again, isolating these fingers, isolating what you're gonna plot, motor planning, just a lot of different fun stuff. And I wanted to give you another option. I think I've seen this one in one of the classrooms at Laneview before. Not sure. All right, we'll go on to the next. All right, the next one might be a little bit more specific to teachers because I think it's a Lakeshore game. It's Miss Claudia's classroom. Squeeze, scoop, and count ice cream shop. Okay, so the skills that we use in this game, I know I have talked probably a fair amount about tweezers before, but this has really cute tweezers where you just squeeze. And again, we're using the right fingers. We're not using our whole fist. We are using our fingers to squeeze and pick up ice cream. And here we go. This is the game. We can work on counting, sorting. Let's see, we could do pattern recognition. So there's different ways to work on this, and this is just a fun fine motor game. And if you have it at home, here's an option for you. And just like we talked about before, this is something that you could do at home with pom-poms and any of the DIY tweezers that we talked about before, or, you know, cotton balls if we're getting creative. So, you know, you definitely don't need to buy any games to get the fun of these skills. But if you had any at home, I thought I would give an option because I know sometimes the kids want to play a game and it's fun, right? We all want to play games. And there's games that have specific fine motor benefits, and I'm definitely not covering them all. I would say if you have some at home that are different for your little people, just think, what are they working on when we're playing this game? What are we focusing on? When we play the squeeze, scoop, and count game, obviously we're working on math skills. But again, we're working on, when we're using the tweezers, building our grasp for holding a crayon and writing down the line. So there's always an underlying benefit to the skills that we use at school, right? That's what we're looking at. Okay, I was gonna go over 1,000,001 games. I've got different age appropriate. There's Spot It Junior, which is visual skills, and there's age appropriate versions of like Kerplunk, which I'll just grab the box because it's right here. So this is classic Kerplunk, which is age appropriate 5+, but there's like a honeybee tree one, which is for preschool toddler age. What I will say about these games is they take a little bit more setup, right? Like you have to place all of those in. And if we're doing that, we want to make sure that they're picking them out one by one and not a fist at a time, because then we have to reset the game. But I would just encourage you, you know, there's a lot of ways to work on fine motor skills that aren't necessarily considered work by the kids. And games are a great way to do that. I hope you all have a wonderful Halloween. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. All right, stay safe. Oh, I don't think any of the, well, I suppose the squeeze, scoop, and count had small objects. So again, as per usual, we want an adult with somebody at all times. And if you have any questions, ask your teacher. They'll ask me. All right, bye.